everybody. It's Saturday. That means it's time to caw. That's creative artivist work. Today we're going to be talking about a letter to Jon Stewart. Now y'all keep an eye out and see if he shows up here in the chat.
Let us know.
He has not been alerted. I didn't, tag him or anything, but, he could just be perusing the internet.
And see his name come up and go, what are these people doing?
I should have tagged him.
Yeah. I don't know how you do that.
I know. That's my department. Get those thumbsy upsies, y'all. Please and thank you. Like it, love it, and share it. Tell a friend about it. Building this community. All right, Patricia.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Okay.
All right. So, I don't know if y'all watched the particular interview with Jon Stewart and
Graham Plattner.
Thank you.
I
don't know why I cannot remember.
I may have misspelled his name in the description down below because the auto thing told me. But I was like, I think it's just one.
Platner.
Yeah, and it had me put 2 T's. I was like, I don't feel like that's right, but that's what it wanted.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
I just put 1 here.
I'm pretty sure it's just 1.
Excellent.
Hey, Anthony.
Okay, so what prompted this was we have a candidate that we're very much supporting and
Have met
a
couple of times.
met his family, been to his house, et cetera, et cetera. And really, ask him some pretty hard questions.
At breakfast, and he bought our breakfast.
And that
was very nice.
And he did not back off on any of it. So, I feel pretty positive about endorsing him to the extent that I decided to write Jon Stewart a letter and telling him, because, he had Tallarico on and it made a big...
Did he talk to Tallarico?
Yeah.
Jon Stewart?
Oh, no, that was Stephen Colbert.
Yeah, that was the big hoop-de-doo.
That was a big hoop-de-doo. But, I don't misunderstand. I love Stephen Colbert. He's funny and wonderful at the same time. Talks about his wife. I don't know does Jon have a wife?
Yeah, and 2 children.
Oh,
his son's name is Nathan. Look at me, stalkery information.
Wow. Well, more than I knew. Okay, Saxe, Texas, April 29th, 2026. That was a few days ago. Dear Mr. Stewart, haven't known you long enough to call you John, but I do hope that will happen. I watched your show the other day. That nice young man, the Mainer, oyster farmer, Plattner, I think. At the time, I couldn't remember. I have a terrible time with names. That's not written in here. Names escape me, but he had a nice face and his eyes matched his sweatshirt.
It did, and I noticed that as well.
I'm a retired art teacher. I notice things like that. But more importantly, I like the message. It was a down-to-earth, no bullshit, apologize for the language, Heather Cox Richardson uses that word occasionally, kind of platform that I've been writing in. On the bottom of the form, the DNC sends out, pretending they want to know what you think about a bunch of things that we all have been saying hell yes to for years. This year, I marked a big red line through it all and wrote, get a brain, some balls, and do your damn job.
I have a picture of it.
I didn't say that in my classroom, by the way. I'm 75 years old, and I'm entitled to be a bit cranky. Anyway, I wanted to tell you I find your program to be most stimulating and just downright funny at times. Not as funny as Trey Crowder, but he's one up on you because he's Southern and understands how hard it is to find humor in the abject ignorance of the average human being south of the Mason-Dixon line. Oh, I need to say I'm currently a resident of Texas, and as such come in contact with more than my fair share of that very thing. So I speak to you from observational experience. You need to get Trey on your show. It'd be a good one.
I think actually, have they, he's been on with, I want to say Frankel, but Frankel is not right.
Franken.
Al Franken. Thank you. See, you knew where my brain was going.
I love him, and I know he's been, but we're going to talk about some more of this sexual.
Carry on.
Yeah. Okay. Now, no more verbal lollygagging. I have a candidate candidate that reminds me a great deal of your oyster farmer in Maine. His name is Evan Hunt. I've enclosed one of those little campaign things that they hand out so your young ladies that make you sound all knowed up on a myriad of subjects will be able to get all the relevant info on Evan. Ignore that goofy picture of him. His wife, charming person by the way, probably told him to smile, and that almost never goes well. And an honest politician, oxymoronic, especially in Texas, is as scarce as hen's teeth. His opponent is a truly vile individual. OTT, orange turd with a tie, is his daddy, and he goes to great lengths to make OTT proud. Now, ladies, talking to the young ladies on Jon Stewart, his research assistants. I don't know what he calls them. Y'all are easy on the eyes, by the way. Brains and beauty don't often come in the same package. Look up Keith Self. I'm not dissing the dude just because he's a Republican, but also because he possesses a most remarkable array of despicable traits, even for a Texas politician. Disclaimer: not all Texans are evil incarnate. Most are caring, concerned, regular people wanting desperately to elect a leader that is going to represent them. It's a hard row to hoe, but I believe Evan can be that person. The Republican machine is big and powerful and chews up and spits out anyone challenging their worldview. I thank you for your time, and I do want to tell you this one last thing before I go. My daughter, Mariah, and I have discussions about who might be that perfect candidate for president. Shocker. No one person comes to mind in the current crop, but here's what we came up with. Jon Stewart and Heather Cox Richardson as co-presidency. What an absolutely dream team combo. You can make them laugh, and HCR and call them out on any bullshit history facts. You know, those kind that get swept under the rug. Inconvenient truths that change everything. Sorry, I spelled that wrong. Appreciate your time. Sincerely, Patricia R. Carmichael. Now, I am seriously.
Hey, and Sue hooked us up with she hooked us up with the address.
He needs to get a new picture. I mean, he looks like a Cheshire cat there. I don't know.
I like it. I think it's sweet.
It is sweet, but I want him to look a little more meaner. Yeah, mean. I want him to get his mean look on.
He's gonna sugar him up.
Well, I don't know if that works.
And then bop him on the head like a little
buddy foo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I took notes on this particular episode that we're talking about here with Heather Cox Richardson and Jon Stewart. It's the weekly show, and his guest was...
Oh, so hey, listen, I tell you. Well, Anthony, do you have an in? That would be question number one, because he did, whenever they were doing their thing back in 2011, they approached Jon Stewart and asked him to speak. He couldn't make it, but he did do a short video for him. And then Matt Damon, whose mother was also an educator, because Jon Stewart's mother was a educator, and Matt Damon did come. Well, come on, Anthony. You're name dropping. You need to hook us up.
Oh yeah, and we need to get Evan's name out there, because I'm just worried that he's getting buried in the.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, he's been out and about, and I think that's a big key, especially here in this area. But the district is huge, and since they redrew the lines, it is extra. Like, runs up to the border of Oklahoma in this one little, and it's this crazy long.
Yeah. That's one of those, things.
It's so dumb.
Republicans, they don't have a platform, they have gerrymandering. What the hell do they need a platform for? Okay, so anyway, I took I wrote down, watch the whole show. Mm-hmm. Okay? Some takeaway points that I remember.
He's afraid he does not have any. I don't think Anthony was in charge of that part. Fair enough.
Okay. All right. And this is what HCR said. The moment, days or nights before a total disaster, pause. Look around. What's happening? Who's involved? What can be done? And what can I do to make it better? And she pointed out there were suicides after the stock market crash in the 30s, when if they just waited another day, they would have realized there was a whole bunch of other people that were in the same boat. Yeah. So don't, off yourself just thinking there's no light at the end of
I
the
think
tunnel.
there's almost always something you can do. And I think this is why it is super duper important for us to have like this community, or just your friends and family, people that you know and trust. My beige farmer guy, I tell you, I'm just he he brings the right energy for me too on some days. Mentioned that it's like, listen, you can't get buried down in trying to save people, like folks that friends, family that aren't enlightened yet, or
They haven't reached the point where they're asking for help.
just
We're waiting for that.
Just or even shown an inkling that there might be some troubles that they may not have anticipated, even though people were telling them things.
Yeah.
Best just to like let them work it out and do the things that you can do and help the people that are in need and asking for and being a part of change. That's kind of the takeaway there.
Well, we got a good one to follow with that because it's FDR, the New Deal. I mean, he changed a whole lot of things for a whole lot of people.
Yeah.
And arrived in a timely manner.
And I think the huge thing too right now, and I don't know if y'all ever watch Josiah over at Pondering Politics. Sometimes he kind of goes on about the same things, but we all have like our little things that I'm sure it's part of, like, when you do this sort of thing and talk to people on camera, you kind of pick up a certain rhythm of things. So sometimes I'm just kind of like, okay, we know about that. Okay. But that might be the first time somebody sees it.
I feel that way sometimes with the bulwark.
Yeah. You're just like, I know that, but not everybody does. And so
you don't know.
So you don't know. But anyway, Josiah was talking about, he's like, I am not supporting or because he was kind of going over Newsom's latest. He went on to Bill Maher. Which Bill Maher? Oh,
yeah, horrible.
He's such an ass.
I think him and Keith Self were cut from the same pattern.
Do you? No.
Keith isn't that smart.
Yeah, unfortunately, and Bill Maher's just schmarmy because whatever. Anyway, Newsom. The whole thing, Josiah was like, listen, I'm going to give the guy props when he has the right things. But I don't, he's not, I'm not all in for him.
Yeah, I'm not either. I think he's performative.
Well, and it was kind of interesting because this was the first time I heard when he talked about, one of my gripes with him there is that when people were asking him if he's going to do this, some kind of tax thing in California for the billionaires, his thing about it and why he doesn't support it is it needs to be something federal. He's like, because they'll just be jumping around.
Oh, the billionaires.
So it'll be kind of like whack-a-mole.
Another,
kind of like.
State.
But I'm also like, okay, so start making it more inconvenient for them, and I'm sure that some of those folks are really gonna like their, they like California.
Yeah, they do. And they've already got their facilities there, and it's kind of, yeah.
I feel that's again a little schwarmy because Newsom has that ability as well. Mm-hmm.
I'm sure some of those friends come over occasionally and slap him around and say, "Yo, dude, remember where you came from." Okay, back to my, what can I do? Well, I'm just giving you historical examples, and God knows I'm not as good at this as Heather. Teddy Roosevelt.
Anthony could help us with the Texas Pastors for Children. I'm sure Evan would. I think any, connection or whatever would be very helpful.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you might be surprised. Like, let me tell you. So this was another very interesting thing that has come across. I don't know if any of y'all saw the interview with Jon Favreau and then the head of the DNC.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
I had to go to the bathroom and wash my mouth out with gasoline.
and John was not. He's like, you could just tell he was like, dude, I am.
This is why I'm not sending my money to those people anymore. I'm supporting my local candidates who I know, and I know where my money's going, because you SOBs do not get to decide for me.
Just some shenanigans.
Yeah, don't send them your money. Spend it on people that you know and
if
trust.
You met them, heck yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Or send it to these people.
Yes.
They need help right now because there's a witch hunt out for the Southern poverty.
Again, it's like, good God, if somebody just asked 2 questions.
You know, and it's
just, or went beyond the little initial bit of information and started, but again, I think this is, asking people to ask questions. Sometimes that's the hard part.
Yeah, it is the hard part, and sometimes the answers that you get don't make you necessarily any happier than when you started out. But if you keep following that, you will become a better person. Teddy Roosevelt breaking up monopolies, and this is where we were talking about who's the person that says we've got to have a plan for when we do get in there, because we are going to get in there.
So who's that's Rich. He's been doing a series, and then I kind of wish Tad Stormer would do a little more, because I think that's kind of where he's edging, but he's also hawking his book. Some of these folks, it's like, I get it. Y'all need to make some money. I understand. You got to pay the bills. But can we move along and, like, can we do 2 things at once?
Well, they need a woman to get involved in that.
Just like, whatever. I don't know.
That's why I recommend that Heather Cox Richardson is involved in the co-presidency, because you
feel like she can make that happen. It should be happening right now. And then some other folks have been. Where did I hear it? There's some others.
We need a Democratic plan like 2025.
Oh, and then and somebody said they were even starting to put it like on a website. Crap, and I was gonna write it down.
Yeah, take notes.
That's what happens when I'm working and listening to these things, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll write that down here in a minute, and then 2 seconds later something happens.
All right. Well, while you contemplate upon that, I'm going to finish my thought.
But there are people building things and doing websites.
That's what I want to hear, because the whole system needs to change. That was the upshot of this conversation here. We cannot go on.
Oh, our candidate is Evan Hunt.
Oh yeah, here
he's Texas. He's Congressional Texas District 3. Or Texas Congressional District 3, however you say it. But there he is. That's him. They're out canvassing in Saxe today. We're going to try to have him on.
Yeah, it's just... Okay. All right. So, breaking up monopolies. You don't know the future. We can define and work toward a more people-directed, human rather than corporations concerned system, taking into account climate change, innovation, and immigrants, looking for a vision that encompasses we the people, the real will of the people. And Heather says a leader will come forth and we will make it a historic movement. Choose carefully, be vigilant, read books, and question. I'm
digging some John Ossoff, but we need to get him back. Like, he needs to get back in, because he's getting, he's a senator right now, and then he's getting, so he's on his re-election campaign there, but like 2028. But he's like, I'm not even thinking about that right now. Like, I'm handling this.
Yeah, and I understand that.
Yeah.
Okay, here's 2 quotes. First one is John to Heather. He says, "You help me organize my anxiety." And she says, "I help to show people where the ground is." And I think those are 2, right now especially, where we don't know where to look, who to. And every time we turn,
He's going to weather right now.
I've been watching weather, and I said, we're going to have to just go with some books that I've already read, a lot of them, because I haven't felt like even reading anything. I've just been watching the weather, and it's kind of a commentary on the political scene when you'd rather watch tornadoes and hail falling on people's
which is also
and
bizarre that we're
property.
not hearing about a lot of these things. Like, okay, is FEMA rolling? Or,
I don't know, but there's some definite people. I mean, the tornadoes
I know
have like leveled houses.
Yeah,
I mean, all that's left is the slab that.
I don't know if this one happened. I mean, it must have happened just this last week, but something in Mineral Wells.
Mineral Wells is the bad one. Yeah,
he said the reason that one was so bad is that it was covered in rain, so a lot of people don't even know. They
call it wrapped in rain.
Look at us watching the same things.
I'm telling you, I know some tornado terminology.
Also, just to kind of let y'all know, and if you're new here, welcome. We do appreciate it. We are live right now. If you have access to chat, then that means you're watching live. Say hello in the chat. We don't usually give the big hellos, but we might get a little hey, here and there. Also, please take into consideration that this is, we want to be clear about this. Because we got some feedback, and it is not, like, it is so sweet, and I appreciate it, and always, please, keep it coming, and especially when it's wrapped up in a lot of sweetness, and that I can appreciate, because then I don't feel like I'm just getting, in trouble.
Persecuted.
I have a problem. Just ask my husband. I'll tell you all about it. Because I'm just like, he's like, I'm not yelling at you. You are, yeah. And I'm like, but I feel like you are. I feel like I'm in trouble. So if you just wrap it up in sugar, then I do take it a lot nice, a lot better. But this is a conversation, and these are the conversations that P and I have, even like off camera. So it does end up and hop around in some different places, and we do apologize for that. But I think that if we were very upfront about what this is, I mean, we are not political pundits.
I'm not a historian. I only started figuring out geography here because I'm watching the Weather Channel, and I had Mariah fill out a map for me. So, we
learn things in real time.
Large gaps in the knowledge base here.
But what we are two very concerned individuals. We are working through this as a mother-daughter, along with our arty community. That's why we're artivists. Sometimes we will even do some art because this is about like dealing with all of this, and the conversations help us deal, because it's like, oh, okay, so we're all feeling this. Wonderful. Now, okay, do we have some actionable items? Is there something we can do? I do, again, highly recommend if you are able to go to any kind of event with a candidate. It's a very inspiring kind of thing to do, to just be in community and hang out in a room full of other people who are kind of obviously experiencing the same thing. I think we get a little bit of that here, but the energy in a room with other folks is different, and then you just get to experience people in real life. And the whole pandemic thing did a real job on us.
We became antisocial.
She's kind of that way anyway.
I have leanings towards that. I don't really like most people or conversations with people. I'm just telling you that up front, because I think one of the things that's really important in a relationship is honesty.
Yeah. And
even if sometimes it isn't what you wanted to hear, that's how I feel when I'm reading these books, and the whole Epstein file thing, and Noam Chomsky and Deepak Chopra, learning about people that, you held them up to high esteem, and suddenly realize that they were really terrible people. Yeah. It sort of destroys your whole, I'm already like, I don't want to talk to you. Kind of, that's my first rattle out of the box. And what I'm really trying to do to sort of overcome that is read What?
Keisha went to a meetup today and Ka was brought up. Wonderful.
Yay.
Thank you. Oh, hey, by the way.
Oh, we have. Do you have
postcards are on the way. Did I leave that one with you?
No.
Okay. I had a mock-up, but it's fine because it's not the real thing when they get here. And then whomever wants some, I will send them out to you. If you promise that you're going to be passing them out, I'll send you, a stack of 10 or 5 or whatever. Just let me know. I ordered 500 of them. I felt like that was we kind of learned our lesson on the Christmas cards.
We still
that was a bold move.
We still have some of those. I can always gesso
2019.
black gesso the suckers and use them for a book.
I feel like these are probably going to get passed out, a little quicker. Yes.
Hopefully.
I didn't get them as fancy. But yeah, that is so awesome, and we very much appreciate it because it's just little connection points like these with folks that maybe want to express get some of their feelings and things out through art. Hopefully we can bring some of that in, and then it really is about the conversation. And I do apologize. I know sometimes it gets a little all over the place, but that's just how we
okay, well, I'm looking at the time.
Converse.
So we've been on for almost 30 minutes now. All right, we're moving right along. We may have time to do some more artivist postcards.
You need to show yours from last time because you teased it that, it's been a week.
So we'll do that.
Yeah.
We'll do that. And maybe give some postcards away.
See, look at her.
Yeah.
Giving me things to do.
Yeah. I promise I'll try to be more actively involved in that. Or if you give me the address, I'll address the envelope and put a stamp on it. Okay, so back to reading information that might not necessarily align with your present political views. I think it's important. It's just like removing Mein Kampf from the library because it's about fascism. Duh. I think it's got, let's take it back one step further and go with the Chinese dude. Lao Tzu.
Is that right?
I don't know. It's LaoTsu. Something like that. Anyway, he was a war strategist. He said, know your enemy. Know the enemy. I think
Martha said her action is she put her name on the ballot for County Democratic Executive Committee.
All right.
Awesome. Hey, and if there's anything, if y'all are, doing anything locally or, whatever, if we can help in any which way we can. Again, we got 213 people following us, I think. Oh, no, actually, I think it dropped down to 212. Somebody, I guess, decided that it wasn't for them. That's fine. We will do our best.
Yes.
If we need to,
And if we need to get you some postcards. Yeah, that you can hand out or whatever, we can do that. Yeah, just think they're going to be written. I'm going to show you because I did work on it. Okay, so let's get to our book here, Constitutional Chaos. Now,
do I have that on the list?
I'm pretty sure that you do.
Okay.
I'm going to hold that up. Now, that's a picture. This 2004 is when this was being written. And that's just so strange because we talk about politics make for strange bedfellows.
Hey, Martha, you need to look up and see because you might even be surprised. The thing is, like here in Texas now, of course, like in our particular district, like Gervinder was telling us that, in this particular district or area, it is heavily red. I don't know that I necessarily full on believe that. I think that things change a lot. This area grows. I would assume lots of people, moving from the city out. That could be different.
People from California.
But sometimes folks need to know that, hey, you may have thought this about the area, but you got to be a registered voter and do your thing. And then that's how it all starts to shift. But in the state of Texas, there are more registered Democrats than there are Republicans. They just don't go out and vote. Because they think, oh, you know.
If somebody told them it didn't matter and they believed them.
Yeah. So they're like, oh, well, things just don't change. Well, yeah, they don't change because you didn't go and say, hey, things should change.
Yeah.
You gotta speak up.
Get your butt off the couch and go out and vote.
And then I think the other part that we really have got to push upon people is that, yes, it's scary knowing all the things. Just take little breaks. You know, get your peace back. But not knowing, I think, to me, is a more... I don't, like, I get overwhelmed. Like, we're kind of in a little overwhelmed stage right now. Brad and I have been cleaning and going out to the garage, and, you know, I find much satisfaction in that because it's something I can control. And it makes me feel like, hey.
That hasn't hit me yet. I'm just watching
she doesn't
weather.
Care. That's not, sometimes it does. Don't let her totally fool you here, because there are moments when she's like, okay, I'm overwhelmed. Let's get this back in order. And that is, take some of those moments and take those little wins, go, okay, now, what can I do here? Have I talked to my one friend? Have I, you know, reached out to so-and-so in a while to let them know that I'm here for them and we're having the same feelings? And is it extremely important that, you know, we stay informed, go vote, and, you know, I don't know. Those are the main things that we know about doing right now.
Yeah, and I also getting back to, you know, what you know.
Yeah.
And this is Neil. This is not. This is paraphrasing what.
Yes,
Neil
I agree with that, Eddie.
deGrasse
Yes,
Tyson.
Sherry. Mm-hmm.
I know enough to know there's a whole lot more to learn about. And you know, you just I get so frustrated sometimes because I want to know it all right now, so I don't have to go and look up something and stop in the middle of my reading because I don't know what they're talking about. That's frustrating. But it's not going to go away unless you just keep after it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This book, and I don't know, Mariah, did you look it up and see if it's on the list?
No.
Okay.
Am I supposed to do that right now?
Yes. And inside the jacket here, it says,
I'll do it later.
We the people are losing our freedoms. This was in 2004. How many years ago did
Yeah, but and here's a little question for you.
Okay.
Because this is
old
school.
I don't know.
Old school Republican guy, right?
Actually, he's a libertarian. He's kind of Ron Paul.
Okay. Well, they usually, you know, caucus with the Republicans. I mean, you know,
I think this is important to know. Used to, but I'm not sure that there's so much in that camp anymore because he left Trump's camp.
I know, but what's his face?
Ron Paul?
No, the Massey. Isn't Massey one of the libertarians that caucuses with and gets Trump all fired up because he doesn't do what he wants him to do. And is pushing back on things, and he was Massey and Rokana.
He's the one that's going after all of the. I watched the other day the thing with the.
I think he's
the victims.
Yeah, I think he's a libertarian, right? Or is he straight up? I don't know. He's got people.
Hey, I don't really care except that I don't see the world quite as black and white as they do.
No.
I think that they're really want to be leftists.
Yeah.
That's my feeling about it. They're just, stuck in that whole thing of capitalism. Okay, so this is 2004. This Napolitano. And
also this is the before times.
This is the before times. Okay?
I think that's important. But here's also
I have to read this that I looked up.
One of my other things is that this is what I appreciate, especially about Tim Miller. Now, sometimes I'm still a little like,
Oh, yeah, the Republican seeps out from under. And it definitely does with little blonde girl.
Yeah, she hasn't fully accepted some things, which is fine. But it does rub me the wrong way. And I think she got some serious pushback on some things here recently. I do like her. There's still some things that just don't totally add up in my brain with her and Tim, as far as like I just don't understand how you can be in that world and so saturated in it and yet still know that you have to kind of hide a big part of who you are.
Oh yeah, because like I said, it seeps out every now and again.
And I'm just like, God, that would be so painful to me. That's one of the reasons it was even very hard. Like, we had a huge, well, not huge, but it was a good week of very dramatic conversations here at PM, over on PM Artist Studio about how active and open we get. I'm like, it's eating me up. I need to be able to express and not feel like I'm not being genuine, because that's really what it felt like. And if that rubs some people the wrong way, sorry.
But not.
Like,
I just, I mean, the whole thing is we've kind of blown off family members. And, it's not that we don't care for them anymore. It's that it's really difficult to be in the same space.
yes.
Because we're not in the same space here. And
it is beyond just, hey, we disagree on how they're going to pay these things or do what are they going to do for the city or this or that. This is like
moral.
Deep moral.
Soulful
I'm
issues.
sorry. I didn't realize that you were like on board with so much terrible things.
Yeah. Terrible things.
So much. And you can't tell me like you don't know. Like maybe there's one part of it you didn't know, but there's enough that any part of it should have been like, oh no thank you.
Yeah.
Like on a like just a who we are as people kind of thing.
And this is the thing. This is one of the things that I learned when I was reading White Women. I still haven't finished it, but
Awesome.
I've read some more. I've read some more, and I'm
She's working through it.
Becoming a devotee of the White Woman book. The little things that people say that are just kind of snide and a little bit niggling and later hit you, and you say, oh, I'm mad that I didn't say something because I think that was
I should have called that out.
I should have called that out. I think that we need to do that, and it isn't always comfortable to do.
I think, like, we got to practice it.
Yes.
Because the thing, and you got to get it, like, you got to do kind of some role play. And that
we did some real heavy. It wasn't role play. It was knockdown, drag out here when I first started reading that book.
Oh yeah, I had to holler at her a little bit.
And yeah, and I didn't like it. I didn't like that there was pushback there, and no, I'm not. And then I just think about some of the things that I have accepted in my white privileged world that, doesn't require a lot of figuring out that, little things about, okay, if I go to the grocery store this afternoon, I need to kind of go around the block a couple of times and see if ice is there, or, imagine. Or if I just watched this whole thing where, in Palestine, what people in Gaza have to go through all these gates and checkpoints and just to get a bag of groceries. And I'm just
that was before,
and I don't even know that probably isn't even happening now. No. I don't know. That's all. I don't know. We don't know because no one's there.
They're not letting anybody. They aren't even, and they're not even letting new like flotillas get in.
I know.
Like,
I saw
remotely close.
Yes, Greece is as close as they got, and they have I don't know. They say detained. I don't know what that means exactly, but anyway, they're not lying. There were over 200 of them. Yeah, we've got to do something. This is ridiculous. And this is this book.
Yeah.
Okay. The premise of this book is your government is lying to you. The very first The very first thing here is, it says, and I love it. Because it breaks the law, the government is not your friend. And it just, so many examples in here, and I just, okay, just, and we all say that this isn't going to affect me. This is, oh, this can't happen to me. There were a lot of people that thought that, oh, Trump is just going to deport the criminals. The bad people are going to get thrown out of the country. Well, we know that, when you start putting 4-year-olds in jail. So, Napolitano.
I think it's
Napolitano.
There we go.
Napolitano.
Nah, it's like
there's no it in there.
Yeah.
Napolitano. He parted ways with Fox News after a 24-year tenure. He'd been there for 24 years in the capacity of a legal advisor. Following sexual harassment allegations filed by a Fox Business production assistant. This departure followed years of tension, including a 2017 suspension over an unsubstantiated wiretapping claim against President Trump and increased scrutiny of his legal commentary in 2020, which he said President Trump was legally responsible for the January 6th Capitol attack on Fox News. Now we can understand. The previous accusations of sexual misconduct, he called them an act of extortion. All were later dropped.
See, that's where it's so disgusting, because it's like, here we have
This is what,
provable, factual, with receipts. People.
Where's my card,
But yet, then they turn it around on folks.
What's happening here, right now.
Yeah. And then they weaponize the exact same thing that you're just like, and the gaslighting of that is just insane.
And somebody in chat said, don't just read the headlines, read the whole thing. Same thing here. The accusations, the charges that are being brought, don't just accept them.
Freaking nuts. Because if you go like the logical way with the whole Southern poverty thing, is that it's like, okay, yes, hey, they were giving money to these folks. You want to know, why? Okay, I'm glad that you asked. The reason they were giving these folks money is because they were infiltrating. Y'all love these kind of, movie kind of things. This is kind of one of those movie things. But they were giving the money to these folks, and then they would go and hang out with the bad folks.
And report back what they were doing.
And that's why they got funded. Because they were like, hey, you already have an end to this thing, and so you're going to help us out. So cool, we're going to help, fund you and do your thing. And so then you have to go, okay, well, that sort of makes sense.
And they were even working with the FBI.
With actual, the legit.
Oh, this is back in, the day when you.
Again, in before times. Well, maybe in the before second times.
Yeah, I don't know how far back that goes. Yeah. Somebody can look that up.
Then, if you take that information and you go, okay, so now I'm starting to understand. But then they're saying, oh, but they were funding then the bad people? Well, okay, if you believe that, then there's kind of two things happening there. You understand that the white supremacy people that they were helping, infiltrate are the bad people. Okay? It's just like,
it really doesn't take large amounts of brain power here to figure this out, folks.
But then there are folks that are like, but they were helping the bad people.
No.
Okay, we lost it again. Sorry. Let's try it again. I feel like where's where are our kindergarten teachers and such? We need to get more of those on television. Okay, we're gonna do this one more time.
Yeah. We're gonna approach it from a different different point of view.
Let's bring some pictures in. Maybe we need
charts.
Some little pictures, some little charts. Maybe some puppets.
Bad guy.
Bad guy.
Good guy.
Here's some money. Go talk to the bad guy. Let us know what the bad guys are doing.
And we're going to pay you for that because, when they embed themselves with these people, they don't have a real job, folks.
Yeah.
It's all taken up, doing the embedding. I don't know. Okay.
I got ideas. Remember, artivists. We can help make puppets.
We can help make puppets.
We're actually quite good at it.
Okay.
Pete can do some great voices. I don't do it. I feel silly. I can just be condescending.
I don't mind doing it. I do a great puppet.
She does.
Okay, well, we've got some lovely examples of the Supreme Court and the whole business with the thing in Louisiana.
And again, just like turning the stuff around, and I'm just...
Pack the courts.
That's the answer. That would be the other thing
that we can do.
Once,
at this point.
I think more of these candidates need to be asked, is that something that you're willing to do? Like, there's a little checklist. I need to put that together. I'm going to write that down.
Well, they do ask them things and they lie. At least the latest one, Gorsuch, he just out and out lied on some of his answers to his questions. And I think that is grounds for impeachment.
Oh, yeah, 100%. But what I was talking about is candidates now. We're talking about now.
Oh, you're talking about
okay, so
not Supreme Court.
And I try not to obsess about too many things that are already happened. Because you can get real stuck in that. It's like just digging in the mud. Okay, it's happened. Now what? Okay. Now we need to make sure that each and every candidate coming up in this 2026, we're going to come up with a checklist of hey.
How do you feel about this?
How do you feel about this? Is this something you're, what, the quickfire questions that Jon Stewart asked Graham Plattner? Those are the ones.
Yes.
100%. And I didn't even care about his gun thing. I don't agree with it. But that was not a deal breaker for me because I still think that he understands the laws that need to be implemented, but he's not going to take things away from people.
Yes, and he made the point
that was great. You know what? That would run really well here in Texas.
Yeah, it would.
That's what Beto should have said.
Because I think I think he would have endorsed that.
In a lot of ways, yes.
But you have to approach your target audience.
Well, somewhat. Now here's where.
I'm just saying, be aware of it because we know they're manipulable, and I know that's a terrible thing to say. But you have to, your message has to make sense not only to the people who are supporting you, who know who you are, but you have to be reaching out to those people who don't know who you are. And if you are immediately in a position where they're not going to listen to you because they think that you are, you got to have some kind of a message that does still go with your core values, but presenting it in such a way that these people can actually see that voting for you is going to be in their best interest.
Well, this is why I like the Graham Plattner thing. It's I liked that when he answered the thing about the guns, he was very quick about it.
Yeah,
and he answered, it wasn't a big old dude to you and me, so sorry, and I'm like, I get that.
Yeah.
That totally makes sense with who he is, where he's at, as a person, not as a candidate. That's...
Yeah.
I don't care about that. Him personally, I understand why his belief system is that. And I'm not, I don't necessarily disagree. There's some nuance there.
Well, I don't necessarily agree with everything that somebody that I support. Kamala Harris, I did not agree with that.
Oh no, she was too corporate in a lot of ways.
I think that was off-putting. But you know what? She was still better than what we have right now.
She was intelligent, not an idiot.
Hillary Clinton, I did not agree with everything that she said. I knew that she was also corporate.
Yeah.
But you know what?
And very tied to Israel, if you want to know the truth at this point in time.
Yeah.
Finding out more about that.
Yeah,
Good
we are.
golly.
that whole thing is just yeah, totally amazing, and absolutely.
That was a little mind blowing to me.
It was me too.
Well, and even with Tim and Sarah having that conversation, how we all have been.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was really nice for them to do in front of the camera, and I hope that's the kind of conversation.
I think that they started out there's tension even to begin with.
Yes.
That what they knew that this was not going to go, and she just took the reins and ran with it, and you could see the expressions on Tim's face. He was very uncomfortable with it, and then later I watched who's the other dude?
JVL.
No, not there. The
Sam.
One, the one that they were talking about giving. What's his name? Hassan.
But this was a different thing because that conversation was separate.
No, it was.
That
was who they were talking about. Allowing him.
Maybe it was
allowing him time to whatever. And he does. His language is horrible. It's like, he's in junior high school sometimes.
But he's that's who he comes from. And actually, he's extremely intelligent. I'm going to
He is extremely intelligent. He knows a lot of stuff.
I think Hassan Piker is mucho bueno.
He's not, yeah. And the thing about it is that right now is the energy that we need. We don't need some more, let's make this work.
How can we convince a bunch of people to...
Yeah, but let's be nice about it. We mustn't say bad words. We mustn't have any really...
Although it is funny when they're like, okay, if cussing isn't your thing, then don't do it. Because it comes off as like, we know that is not your thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I try to use it for emphasis. And when I get all emotionally wrapped up in something, I know I do throw some verbiage out there that, later might record.
Mine's an emotional regulator. I finally told Brad, I was like, listen, it's either I can be sobbing or cussing.
One or the
two
other.
speeds. I can at least get some things out with the cussing. When I'm sobbing, nothing comes out. Just sadness and things. Hello, Karen.
Okay, read excerpts. Constitutional chaos. I don't know what I'm even talking about there. Introduction to the Constitution. Let's get back to that. And we need to get some people noted up on some stuff here.
Hey, also, but before we get people noted up on it.
Okay. Yeah.
There are things that are built into the system, and this is why I love Tad Stormer, because he really calls it out. He knows everything's working the way that it's supposed to be, as the founders
envisioned it.
He goes, especially with all this our 250th, going to be these people that are, rah-rahing or saying, this isn't what the founders envisioned. He goes, no, actually it really is. Like, historically, if you want to get down to it, this is how the system...
White people.
Yeah, but this is where we go, okay, now we need to start poking at the system and saying, hey, this...
we have the words that are there.
And that's one of the other things he said, but there are things in there that people need to realize can be utilized and haven't, or have in the past and need to be again.
We, the people, is how it starts.
Yes.
Now, we all know that they didn't mean all the people.
At that moment in
time. They meant their friends, their relatives, their whiteness, and their money.
Yes.
If all those things were covered, then you could be part of we, the people. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you could just piss off and, whatever. Anyway, okay, let's talk about the presidency, because I think that has a lot to do with where we are right now. The Constitution provides for a strong chief executive, not a king, but an executive who is not subject to either of the two branches. What do I mean by this? In the modern European system, the head of government is the prime minister. I think it's important to know about what other governments have to offer, because I
would like a chart. It makes more sense to me because I'm like, oh, okay, this would be the equivalent in this country. Here's, these are the people, and this is, sort of And I know it's not exactly the same across the board, but it would be helpful. I'm sure there's a chart somewhere.
Comparable.
Yeah.
You know, if they don't like their prime minister, they just get together a bunch of people and they just oust him, right?
Well, no, but here's the whole hoopty-doo that's going. Yes, this whole thing that's going on.
Oh, I mean, he was involved in the whole Epstein thing up to his eyeballs.
Well, and then they wanted to bring in the other guy. Now, y'all can help. Okay, we got
M. It starts with
Mo
M.
can help us, I think, because the problem was he wasn't part of Parliament. But then they were trying to circumnavigate that somehow, some way, because he really liked this one dude, but he wasn't in a position to be able to oust
the other one.
The other one. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. The prime minister of most modern European countries is not elected in a popular vote. Word. The party's representatives are elected to Parliament, and if they have a majority in Parliament, they choose him as leader of their party to become the leader of the government.
Oh, okay. Hey, wait, hold on a second. So, yes, it is totally disgusting or whatever, but I did find out one of the little caveats to that is that I think it's only in DC and only at the request of the person, which thankfully passports, he wants his face on them.
Oh, I have to hurry up and get mine, so he didn't have it on there.
No, unless you're getting yours in DC.
Oh, okay.
Or you have to request it. Would you like to request one?
Yeah, so I can use it for toilet paper when I run.
It's very expensive. I think that there are other ways to make points.
Okay. The prime minister's name does not appear on a national ballot as a candidate in that office. For that office. Okay. Then it talks about, nevertheless, the Constitution gives us a strong chief executive, not one of whose powers derive from the legislature, but one whose powers derive from the Constitution. And the Constitution very explicitly says what he can do. If a British prime minister loses a vote of confidence, that is, if Parliament rejects his proposals, he can be swept from office,
or she,
and forced to stand for re-election. Not so with American presidents. Not only may he lose a vote in the Congress and still keep his job, but he doesn't even have to be in the same party as that which dominates Congress, and frequently that is the case. Yeah. The legislature, the Congress, was created by the Constitution to represent the states and the people. And this is where we're really kind of in a big bind right now. I don't feel like we're being represented.
No. I don't feel like even, and this is where I really don't understand. I mean, Republicans are not.
No, they're not even.
And I think this is why, like, things are starting to kind of, there's a shift of some sort, and now there's not some big, great, like,
wave
of, oh, gosh.
Wow.
Been waiting for that, but again, I think we should all stop, like, waiting for that, and just kind of keep chipping away at things, and just stay focused, and handle the things that we can handle, and make sure that we vote and do the best we can with that. And you got to show up. And if your people that you voted for in primaries aren't the ones that made it through, I know that's frustrating. Our girls, didn't make it through. Jasmine. That's all right. I think she's still going to be doing things out in the world. She still is.
I want to know what she's doing, and if I can do something, I would like to help her do it, because I feel like she was the most qualified person.
Of course, she was
for the job,
and then some, because she had to be that much better still to even remotely get
Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire. She did what he did in high heels, going backwards. Think about that for a minute. Okay, yeah. Well, all right. Legislature, the judiciary. I want to talk about the judiciary. The most peculiar branch and the least understood is the judiciary. The judicial branch of the government consists of life-tenured judges. Big mistake. appointed by the president and confirmed by the Senate. And this is where, what's his name, lied his ass off, telling them exactly what they wanted to hear. And I don't know. There's got to be some kind of process to bring that. I mean, I'm sure it was taped, so you got evidence. The purpose of the judicial branch, as created by the Constitution, was to hear trials and apply federal laws to the unique cases before them. In the very famous case of Marbury versus Madison, however, in 1803, I guess going back a ways, Supreme Court decided that its purpose would be grander than that. The court claimed for itself the power to invalidate acts of the Congress which were inconsistent with the Constitution. At that time, such power was considered a radical notion. Okay, just go on. All of this goes through. But when I'm talking about, it would be grander than that. I think this court that we have in there right now is having that same sort of.
Oh, 100, yeah, 100%.
And yeah. Okay, I have addressed judicial review at length in this book. It is indeed controversial, but now nearly universally accepted. And I'm going to read you some other stuff here in a minute. Sometimes we call the exercise of judicial review judicial activism when we disagree with what the court does. Sometimes we call it judicial heroism when we agree with the judicial outcome. I think okay, separation of powers. This is where we're getting back to the judicial, because I don't think we have a very, number one, what's the little puppet Johnson.
Oh, yeah. Well, and it sounds like he may be on his way out, because even
well, no, but who are they going to replace him with? It's going to just be somebody else.
I don't know.
It's just,
I don't know. If they could just find some folks that I don't know if there is such a thing as a Republican that is not compromised in some way or another.
I don't.
It seems like if we could just Massey.
Yeah.
Because he seems to. I mean, I definitely do not agree with the dude, but he at least stands on what he believes.
Well, so Mark Taylor.
Well, yeah, I mean.
The Constitution itself divides power, as we saw earlier, among a president who enforces the laws. I will read that to you again. Among a president who enforces the laws, a Congress which writes the laws, and a judiciary which interprets the laws. It also, of course, limits the power of the three branches of government so that they deal with problems that are truly federal in nature. Unfortunately, these limitations have rarely been honored, and throughout the many years of our existence, fanatics and busybodies and do-gooders and collectivists in the Congress have found infamous and duplicitous ways, and power-hungry judges in the court have bent over backward to allow Congresses and presidents to exercise powers never contemplated by the Constitution. Article 1, Section 8 specifically lists only 18 areas of human behavior over which Congress may legislate, and thus the president may enforce and courts may interpret. Those areas involve coining money. Donald wants his name on the money.
Yeah, they were talking
regulating
about that.
Interstate and foreign commerce. This is where the tariffs come in.
But they said nay to that.
They said nay. Establishing rules of naturalization. Passport and trying to get the whole thing with the birthright.
I think that's the next thing up.
Establishing post offices and courts. They're trying to get the post office because they said that the private sector can do that a lot better. BS. And I would point to the privatization of prisons as a prime example of what not to do.
Yeah.
and supporting an army and navy. The power to regulate all other areas of human behavior that the natural law, natural law,
Yeah.
okay, we're not.
That's some of that little coded language, right?
Coded language allows governments to regulate was retained by the states. States' rights. I can read to that too.
That's why I like some of these books and why it ruffles my little feathers a little, because I'm just like, oh, y'all laid some groundwork for this crap that's happening right now. Shenanigans like that.
Yes, exactly. But here's the thing: if you really want to get down to it, that you could fight that. But what he's saying here is laws are being broken, and I mean.
Yeah, well, so who's going to do anything about it? And that's exactly what they are doing right there. They're like, okay, yeah. And then?
Lying for a living.
Yeah.
Yeah, universal jurisdiction. This is the whole thing.
This is the fix that needs to happen. It's like, okay.
Okay, you just have all of these cases in here. And one of it is the law of search and seizure.
Because Tad Stormer was talking about. They made the assumption that these would be good men.
Yes.
Good men.
Yes.
And that they would be, what was it? Because the language that he used in the last couple of videos.
Virtuous.
Virtuous. I'm like, if Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure could just seriously happen, boy, oh boy, would that be fascinating, wouldn't it? If you know, you know.
Okay, he starts off with
to grab us up some founders and bring them.
Illegal abduction, the whole thing, and it was the
I don't know. They might be for it. Some of these dudes would totally be down with what's happening.
Yeah, kidnapping is a federal crime, and they kidnapped this. This was back when they were grabbing people off the streets in Iraq and taking
a leader of another country.
Cuba, a leader of another country. That's not legal.
No.
It's not legal, folks. Yeah. Good old Rehnquist. Okay, the job of the Supreme Court.
Uh-huh.
All right, here's Chief Justice Rehnquist. Wrote for the court that whether Manchin should be returned to Mexico. This is the whole case where, they just picked him off the street and decided he was, should be returned to Mexico is a matter for the executive branch. Not so, saith Napolitano. It is the Supreme Court's job to stop the government when it breaks the laws. What they just decided with the whole thing down.
They're complicit.
They are complicit and they are breaking the laws.
So now what?
This
is where people need to be figuring out what is the now what and what needs to be put into place. Like there definitely needs to be. I want to hear term limits. I want to hear packing the court because things have to get balanced out. And actually not even balanced out. Like it needs to swing in a whole other direction. To even remotely.
And, it's just one case after another. The whole, the Pennsylvania Board of Probation and Parole versus Scott. Look up these cases. They're absolutely, and I'm not going to read them to you because it's 4 or 5 pages here, and Mariah's I'm going to
smack her.
She's going to smack me. It's out there. And attacking the innocent and protecting the guilty.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the FBI knew things. Well, we know the FBI knows a lot of things right now that they are not.
All right, so close your book up because let's just get into some chat. And you got to show your postcards.
Oh my goodness! Yes.
Okay.
I'll be getting those out while Mariah's giving you. All right, here's another book, please. I don't know that it's in the list.
Yeah, I don't know if I have that one in there, but I will get. I will update the list, y'all.
And I'm fairly sure that this one's in here. This is such a good book.
But it does give her a little, you got to do it in doses because it'll. It'll get you in a place.
It will get you in a place. Understanding how strong men triumph and stay in power for so long.
I'm going to get the pokey stick
also
out.
means abandoning some cherished notions about national identity. I'm not going to read more.
All right. So here, okay, what was I going to say about? Okay. Here's what I am. It gives me hope. Is that at some point in time, because this is such a weird, I'm trying to put these words together and not sound like, kind of a crazy person, but
that's all right. They probably
because we're basically living in television. Like, these are, the Real Housewives of BC or some crap. I feel like these takes are applicable. There's some mama, like, so the woman that got deported, that was Melania's friend, that was married to the Paolo, that dude, who knows things about Melania, who helped pay off some things about, a story or who's it, what's it. But see, that baby mama, she's mad. Also,
and rightfully so,
Elon's baby mama letting out some things.
I don't know.
These folks don't understand, like, when you take the things away from folks, or you get them to a point where it's like, you know what, this is not worth it. Like, that will happen. That has to happen. Like, that's life. And once the dam starts cracking, and I'm seeing a lot more, there's other stuff coming out, and the dirty laundry, and just the things happening over there. It's just the drama. The drama might save us. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know where my cards are. I gave them to you.
You see
my go-to.
She does that.
You've seen all of these. I'm not showing these anymore.
But no, they were like right over there. You had them. You want me to come look?
Yeah, you can come look.
Okay.
I don't know where they are. I want to just talk about, all of this business, because I feel like we're being manipulated, and it makes me angry. It's like, oh, look at this over here, look at this over here, look at this over here, look at
totally. And it's
gaslighting. Yes, and it's so much, and it's so hard to say, okay, now I need to focus. What is important here?
Okay, and you need to show that.
What?
Because that was kind of part of it.
Yeah, that was. That was where we did the, here's, on the back side, I was using this as, and I didn't realize I was until later. Anyway, what was I saying? Focus on what it is that really touches you in the core of your being, not the drama, not the BS, not the constant dribble and drip of the drama. If you do that, grab a book, find out some stuff, so that the next time you talk to someone and they say some really stupid thing,
you go, oh no, that ain't right.
Oh, excuse me.
No, you ain't got that right.
Back up for a moment here. I have some things to show you. I have some things to tell you. I can give you a reference, or in this case, many references. Many references, not just one. And that makes it a valid source, per se. I'll tell you what. Talk to your people.
Well, and it was like when I was...
These people. Southern poverty. I've been a member since 2006.
When I had my nails done, and I was able... When the one lady said something about... oh, goodness. I don't even remember exactly what it was. But I had just... Like, it was something that was fresh on my brain. And I was like, oh, no, that's not quite right. And she was like, oh, okay. But if you're able to have that conversation and sort of stop somebody, or at least pause them for a moment where they're like, oh, well, if I didn't have that right. Because, it's a thread.
It is a thread. It is a thread, and that big woven tapestry on their wall that they believed in. And right now, I think it's very hard because a lot of things that we believed or wanted to believe about our country, we're finding out they just weren't true. And that creates disequilibrium in your psyche. And then you pile on all the other stuff from the I think the thing that's going to get Trump, it's not anything moral.
No.
It's his corruption and his taking advantage of the monetary aspect of.
Because at some point in time, it's going to eat into somebody else's or something. Yeah. There's going to be that. I think
when people are really struggling, it touched my heart that person who was setting fire to the factory.
He said, if you would just pay us a livable wage.
If you would just kept repeating that over and over again.
Because it is fairly simple. Oh, God, and then the conversation where the one billionaire is talking to the other he's like, I think we might have to start, doing something that's, what is it? What was it? Because he was like, we're gonna... Basically, it's like, I think we're going to have to be better people and do some things, right by, society versus just being, evil billionaires.
People are working for us out there. They're getting kind of pissed off and,
burning things down and shooting people.
I might have to take a little cut in my weekly.
Or and hey, Mo might know this. I feel like because the accent sounded more... It was either Scottish or Irish. I'm kind of terrible at that sometimes. If I don't, know, then it's like, I don't really know. But they were obviously having a debate, some political debate, something or other. The one guy says, oh, so because of everything that he's done, he has 6 houses, 6 boats, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So, what, do you want less people like me? In whatever he was talking about, because it was just a little clip. And the guy very quickly said, yeah, we don't need more people. He's like, you need one house. There are people that do not have a home.
They don't even have a room.
Why do you need 6 of them when you live in one?
Your body can only live in one. And how many boats can you float? When is enough?
Enough.
And, all of these people that, are spouting religion at me. Jesus said that it was, if you were a rich person and you did not give away what you could give away, you would not be accepted in the gates of heaven. And let me tell you what, there's a whole lot of people that are heading for the hot place. And
if you believe in that sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, I don't. But you can't.
I think there's something. There's something.
You can't be talking Jesus to me, and not be talking the whole Jesus.
Yeah.
It ain't a partial part thing. Take the part you want and leave the rest of them out. That ain't the way it goes, folks.
We'll look for the postcards. Postcards are MIA.
I don't know what happened to the postcards.
They're in there. I think they're in one of those stacks over there, but I don't like to ruffle them around too much because she does get a little irked if her things are not. She kind of knows, but she don't know. She knows.
I don't know what happened to the newest batch of, but I promise the next call we'll make some more.
And then you can hand them over to me.
I will cut some paper and be all ready to go.
I'm gonna double check real quick though if you did give them to me.
Because I've got all these ideas that I wrote down here when we were brainstorming
Yeah.
All of that stuff.
And we
So-
might have call cards by then, because they should be coming in this next week.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
the next few days. I think they're printed right here in Texas.
And, in the comments, if you've got a card that you'd like me to
Yes,
make.
and those of you that, I know it's a big ask, but those of you that have been here, those of you that are watching, and then if you can come back, leave comments. It does help with pushing it out there into the rest of the world. Trying to grow the, community.
Yeah, write down a political slogan that you want to see on a card.
Yeah. Leave us that in the comments for sure. All right, my friends. I think that concludes our caw. Have you felt sufficiently cawed? We're coming up with things.
Yeah. I don't feel like that we were. I don't feel like that I did a very.
Oh, I enjoyed this.
Bang up job of.
I enjoyed this one. Okay. This is
I
another thing I would like to know.
I really want to read from my book.
She just wants to read, and I don't want to do that because that's not a conversation. That's her reading to me.
No, maybe I just need to start my own channel. And I'll just sit down and read a book and see how that goes.
I mean, I can reach out to like the library, and be like, "This woman needs an audience, and she wants like this is a political thing or social justice thing."
I believe in reading. I believe that people should read and be read too. And
this is a story hour with Patricia for the elderly and inquisitive.
See, I make, and the reason I can't do library.
Well, we need to talk to our Wiley Action group. Like, y'all want to be read too? I think they would enjoy.
Oh, when we could do book club.
I think it would be better in a IRL versus.
I don't know, but internet. I don't really want to listen to anybody else. I just want to read my book.
Karen says that you can be her audible.
Audible. Thank you, Karen. Maybe
she wants to listen to you read.
Do a one-on-one.
Yeah.
Bless your heart.
All right.
Oh, I know what I forgot.
What?
I was gonna. This is important.
Okay.
Don't go.
Don't go. Don't drop off yet.
Don't drop off yet. This is my little cards that I made. My little people cards.
People cards.
Oh, come on. The ones from ARP.
ARP. Oh, yes, the ARP cards.
Okay, so we've already read them to the...
Oh, yeah, but if y'all weren't there the other day... Here, you want me to go topside? Because you got to see them.
Yeah, you got to see them.
There you go.
Okay. The reason I thought about this is because this woman speaking here is a black woman. She says, "I am seeking a more socially robust group. Y'all suck at robusting." The dude sitting down here looking at her goes, "I don't think this is my group." Oh, come on, that's some funny stuff there. Okay. "I'm going to seriously kick some ass, and next time I see some dipwad drop their trash." This would be me in my thinner days with my my bedroom pants on and my chapeau. This is dedicated to Eddie. Is Eddie here today?
Yeah, Eddie's here.
All right. "If I drink this, I'll have to pee later."
He posted a thing on the internet. Made us chuckle.
"Mom, if you want cookies for breakfast, I support you 100%.
And the little kid in the background, that's Izzy. And she's like, there's a little, thought bubble be like, I thought those were my cookies.
You can see how sad that face is there.
Those are my cookies.
And this one, "Hang in there, Mom. There's a bench and a taco truck behind those trees."
Just behind the trees.
Now, I think the trees are quite a far piece away, and I don't know if I'm going to be motivated to wait that long for the bench. But anyway, all right. So that's a little social thing from ARP about, aging and what you do. Do you expect more?
Oh, okay. Nairi says that this is not her slogan, but so it's good people break bad laws. Topher Field.
Absolutely.
From Australia.
And bad politicians are elected by people who don't vote.
Amen. There you go.
There you go.
All right, y'all. That's the call.
Call.
Thanks for being here. we'll be back next Saturday, 3:30. Remember, no call on the 16th because we will be going to Scarborough Fair. Got my outfit, sort of.
Izzy's
I want
going
to be thinner, but, you know.
Yeah. I always say I want a red Porsche, but I really don't.
I do want to be thinner.
Yeah.
But there's things that I'm not willing to give up, and, you know. All right.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys then. Actually, we'll be back tomorrow morning over at PM Artist Studio. And it's the big launch of stuff. If you haven't seen everybody else's videos, go over to Makers and, you know, do that
I've got
business.
some new stuff to show you, too.
Because people have been posting things and you have some videos and things, but then we'll show everything tomorrow morning, too. All right. Love y'all. Bye.
Caw.
Caw.